There we go. Hello and welcome. My name is Seth. This be sweet Chariot. And this is another part on this yew bow that I've made. Now, some of them are regular people, which I'm very thankful to have. Hello everybody. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. A bunch of people might be saying, well Seth, you finished this bow. The last part you did, the last video you did, was called Finished. It wasn't finished. There was several more things that needed to happen to this. Here's what happened though. I broke two bows while doing series. I broke the ash bows, and the yew bow before this one. So I was pretty keen not to break this one as well. So it was at a point on that last video, finished, where I could call it finished. It was working. It could chuck an arrow and you could do a group with it. However, it just wasn't quite right. There was a few more tweaks that needed to happen, and I was sort of keen to close the series down and crack on with making some some Japanese longbows, which I did, which is the next video. But I needed to get this one finished up. It's not good to go on and crack on with other projects while something isn't fully finished. You need to get it out of your mind, right? So I went and did that. I identified a few things that weren't quite right, and then a few things that I could make better. So here's what we did. First thing I noticed was one of the limbs, bottom one, was a little bit off. So the string line wasn't quite center, so we're dodging the rain at the minute. So I might have to rush off at some point. Yeah, the string line wasn't quite right. So I put a bit more time into putting the limb straight, which can cause problems because it can undo reflex that you've put into here. This particular yew, I think it's common yew, fast growing yew, it doesn't really hold recurves very well, so yeah, and you run the risk of cracking it because it's not as dense, not as tough as other yews. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that too much is what I'm saying. So yeah, had to do that first. Then once I'd sort of achieved as much recurve as it could do, I sort of gauged how quick, how powerful it was, and how much draw I had. And what I had was lots of draw, but it was very lightweight. We're talking like 20 pounds, and it wasn't particularly quick. So what I decided to do was then move the limbs forward. Try my best to bring these guys forward. I mean, they probably could more, to be fair. It's more the limitation of the piece of wood that I've used. Yeah, the aim was to, whatever draw length I had, you know, working well as it was, or working as it was from this sort of angle, and try and bring those limbs a little bit forward. The other way you can look at it is trying to drop the handle down. Yeah, who knows, it could take a little bit more. But I didn't want to push it. Like I said before, I didn't want to break the bow. Let's get it strung up. Now we've seen that unstrung shape, looking okay. It's not particularly dramatic. That's not a problem because as I was making my Japanese longbows, I don't even need the leather. Oh, is this the rain coming in? Well, better make it quick. Yeah, as I was making my Japanese longbows, I decided to play around with birch bark. And noticed just how well it worked. Bringing up the draw weight, I should say. The overall power, the overall speed is hard to determine, as we'll play around with in a second. Then it was just a case of tidying the whole thing right up. So, we got the string line in place, we got the final shape of the limbs to where they want to be, and then, once I'd front set it a little bit, I gave it its birch bark backing. Because it's not the toughest yew in the world, it seemed like a great idea. Because I want this bow to survive. It's really starting to come down now. Right, so let's make it quick. Show off this nice finished bow. Got a target just over here, nice and close. You can see it from this side. And it went straight through it. So I'll chuck one on down there. You stay there, Molly. Take a traditional arrow. Shooting like a dream. Loving this bow. One notice about the birch bark. Stay there, Molly. It's really nice and calm. Refined. Just put the top of the target there. I hope you'll find that guy. Really nice and refined. Calm and steady. Yeah, not much ring being left in the bow. Take my holly arrow. A little bit heavier, that one. Another mid-weight heavy one. I should probably get out of this rain, particularly wrap this bow up. So yeah, here we go, Dryad. Number 12, Dryad. Named after the Dryad saddle mushroom that I came across a couple of times when I was finishing this one up. Had to be. Shout out to our feminine forest spirits. Thanks again, everyone. I'm going to get out of the rain. It'd be nice to keep on shit right. Let's do one more. Don't know how this angle looks looking down there. Beauty. Take it steady, everybody. And I will see you in the next one.